This journaling prompt literally decided my fate. A couple of weeks ago, I was given a job opportunity. I would have had to move away from all my friends and all my family to take it. And it was a job that I didn't know whether I was going to like or not. Instead of just blindly making a decision after a couple days, I decided to journal out my thoughts. And there was one journaling prompt that really stood out to me. This was the Odyssey Plan. For this journaling prompt, there are going to be 3 paths. First, we're going to start off with our current path. Really, you just want to write out kind of what your life is going to look like in 5 years. But I really want you to think about, what does a typical day in your life look like, right? Everything. What time are you waking up? How far is your commute to work? Where are you working at? What are the types of things you're working on? What's the environment that you're working in, Outside of work, what are you doing after work? What kind of hobbies do you have? What are you doing for work outside of work? You also want to think about your family and your home situation. What kind of house are you living in? Are you living in an apartment? Are you married yet? Are you going to have kids in the next 5 years? Really detail out your life and try and figure out exactly what your life is going to look like in 5 years. This is going to give you a trajectory for your life and kind of tell you where your life is currently going. The next thing you're going to do is describe your alternate path. For me, this was taking the job. You're going to do the exact same thing as before. You're going to describe what a typical day in your life would look like in 5 years if you took a new job. This is going to help you understand a little bit more about what your life would look like if you took that new position. Then you're going to reflect back on it and determine whether or not this is kind of the path you want to take or whether it's something that you want to stay away from. Now here's where things get interesting. The third path is probably my favorite. This is called the radical path. With this, you're just going to describe really if you had no responsibilities, if you had all the time, financial, all that kind of freedom, how are you going to spend your day? What is your life going to look like in that? Now, I know you probably have other responsibilities. You might have kids, you might have family, you might have other obligations that are taking away from this. But this is still a really great judgment to see kind of what a typical day would look like in your ideal life. Now, you might not be able to make this happen right now, but you might be able to see that there are little nuggets of information, little nuggets and little pockets here and there that are in your ideal life that weren't in your current life or your alternate plan, but could be a really great addition that you can add right now. This might be waking up early, getting a workout in, doing a sauna in the morning or a cold plunge. Some of these might be realistic things that you can do right now without having to change your life. When I really journaled this out, there were a couple things that really stood out to me. If I were to take this new job, then not only am I moving away from all my friends and family at least a couple hours away, but I'm also moving into a small town in the middle of nowhere. There were literally 2 restaurants and 1 single bar in the entire city. So I just don't know if that was a life that I really wanted to take. I also might have had to give up my drone business. For those of you who don't know, I started a drone business on the side about a year ago, and I've been really excited to just kind of get flying, get clients, and really start a business of my own. So if I moved out to a new city in the middle of nowhere, I would have to restart with all my clients if I did want to do it, and 2, there would be a lot less clients for me to get. So really, it would have been pretty much a complete restart on my business if I wanted to still continue it. And finally, there was a little bit of a pay bump with the new job, but almost all that would have had to go to new living expenses out in the middle of nowhere. So with all that in mind, I decided not to take the job. But there were also some interesting insights from my radical path. One of the first things that stood out to me was that I really don't have an opportunity to be creative in my current role. As the coordinator of esports in my current role, my position is really more about managing people and building a community on campus. But that doesn't leave a lot of opportunity to be creative in my day-to-day. I think that's why I really like working on this YouTube channel so much, because it's an outlet for my creativity. Overall, this journaling prompt literally helped me decide my fate. If you got value from this video, you might like to check out this one up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!